Hi everybody, this is Leo. Thanks for watching the video. Well, winter has come upon the land of worms. It's been winter for a day or two now. The seasons last somewhere around 5 or 6 real life days. So you have plenty of chance to experience the seasons that worm offers. It's wintertime now, snow covers everything. Uh, a lot of the trees the foliage changes. A lot of the bushes, the foliage drops away completely. Lavender bush, completely bare. Grape bush, completely bare. But there's a lavender bush that still has foliage on it. So I guess not all of it falls. There's that big mountain way over there. There's the big statue that the people that run Xanadu put up. And those are major works. Those take a lot of time unless you've got 90 plus skills and 8 or 10 people helping you, and then you can knock those out pretty quick. What I kind of wanted to show you today was give you more of an idea about farming. Now, one of the things that you really need to establish early on is food security. And what I mean by that is you might not starve to death, especially being a newbie, because you get like 7 layers of fat or something like that you can go through as your food. See down here, I've got water is 70%, my food is 53%, my nutrition's at 72%. Now, as your water and your food goes down, your stamina, the big green bar, recovers more slowly. So you want to make sure that you've got a source of water and that you've got food. Now, one of the things that you can do to get food is find, especially as a newbie, people have been playing a while know how to do this. So as a newbie, you want to try to find some kind of monster. Personally, I don't eat humanoid meat like from goblins or trolls or things like that, but find something. Lure it to the guard tower, and the guards will help you kill it, and then you can butcher the corpse and you can get meat off of it. But you're not going to really do well on the food department just with meat. So one of the things you're going to want to do is to create a farm. Now this is my little farm back here. I'm making way more food than I actually need. Up here is my cornfield. I think I've shown you that before. And the way that this works is that when you first start out, you're not going to have any seeds. So what you'll do is you'll go around to tiles that have grass on them. And if I come here and I right click this tile and I go to nature, I can forage here, which forage is going to result in things that I can eat usually. And botanize is going to result in other things. So let's try to botanize. It's picked clean. Excuse me. Let's try to forage, see if we can get anything that way. Start to forage in the area. Now, like everything else, this is a skill that you develop. Let's see if I get anything here. I found a tomato now. All right, I'm glad I found that, because that just works right into this. Hit I to get my inventory up. I can right click that tomato and I can pick seeds. For most of the agricultural products that you're going to find, this is how it works. Now, a few, and I'm not going to pick the seeds because I don't need it. I've got 3 tiles dedicated to tomato production over there somewhere, and so I don't need tomato seeds. If I do, for example, well, we'll plant one just to kind of give you an idea. Okay, so we're going to go over here to an area. This is packed dirt. Now, this could be grass. This could be anything. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your rake, which you get one of these as a newbie. You get a pretty good complement of tools. Anyway, so we'll come over here to the tile that I'm going to do this on. We're going to right-click it, and we're going to cultivate it. Now, whether or not it's grass or it's packed dirt or it's grass or packed dirt, and I'm not sure about other types of terrain. I don't think it works on sand. Might work on step, but I don't really know about that. So anyway, I've now cultivated that tile, and it's just dirt now. Now, when you've got something that's just dirt, let me find my mater here. Here it is. So I right-click on it, and I pick the seeds. See down here, you pick the tomato for seeds, and it ruins the tomato. So the tomato goes away, but you get seeds. You double-click the seeds, which is activating them, which makes them turn green. You right-click the tile, and you sow the seeds. Now, I don't remember ever having this fail, so I don't know if it ever does fail, but I've never known it to fail. And then boom, there's field, seeds, freshly sown. Now, if I double-click this tile, it shows me, you see a patch of freshly sown field. The crops grow steadily. This is within the village of Stemwinder Estate. That's my deed. Now let's go over here, something that's a little more, oh wait, we've got corn up here that's ripe. I can see it from here. You can see the yellow ears of corn. And as we approach it, you see it says corn ripe untended. So the corn is untended. So I want to make sure I've got my rake selected because I want to tend to the corn, and you can do that with a rake. Right-click it and farm it. Now while that farming is going on, I can go ahead and right-click it and hit harvest. That will queue up that activity, so it'll happen next. And as you see, as I do activities, my stamina is going down. I hear a noise that sounds like a phone. Okay, so we're back. Now I've double-clicked the corn, which has activated it. It's highlighted green. Right-click here and I sow it. So now I'm going to have one of my neighbors has a really loud phone. I keep hearing it. Anyway, so there's my corn. Now I'm not using corn for food. I'm saving it up so that I can sell 1,000 of them all at one time. Because when you sell things in Wurm, that's the typical amount of an object or an item that people want to buy. They don't want to buy 112 of them. They want to buy 1,000. 1K, as it's referred to. All right, so that's the basics of how farming works. Now, another thing to keep in mind is some of these crops are very easy to grow, and others are more difficult. Now, the more, those tomatoes, see, I told you I had tomatoes, they're almost ripe. Tomatoes are hard to grow, so you don't get, you'll get 2 or 3 when you first start out if you're growing tomatoes. Then as your farming skill increases, you'll be able to get more and higher quality harvests out of it. So anyway, so now I've got an extra tomato over there, and when that ripens, I'll just harvest it. I don't need a 4th tomato tile. Now, when you do that, once you've harvested your food and you've butchered the meat, you put it in a food storage bin, which is a special purpose container that you build, or you get somebody to build one for you, that you use to keep your food in. Now, whenever you have your food in here, it does not decay as long as it's on an active deed. As long as your rent is paid up and it's on the deed, the food in here will not decay. And even when it does, it takes forever. So what have I got in here? So we hit F to open it. We're going to sort this by name. Look at all the different stuff you can have. Belladonna, which is you use to make healing covers, which is how you heal really, really bad wounds. Blueberries, brown mushrooms, carrots, coca beans, cucumbers, cumin, egg, all these different kinds of meat that I found. Bear, beef, canine, which is get from wolves and stuff. Feline from wild cats. Fowl, a few chickens running around. Game, Where did I get those from? I don't even remember. That's like just a catch-all thing there. Horse meat, insect meat. There's I showed you on a video before. There is a briarwood spider den down the road from me, and it just keeps spawning spiders. And I go down there and lure them to the guards, kill them, butcher them, and take their stuff. Now you can't grow all of these things. Onions you can grow, oranges you can grow, pea pods you can grow, potatoes, pumpkins, etc., etc. Now once you've got food, what you have to do is you have to cook it. Well, you can eat it raw, but it doesn't do you much good eating raw. So you're going to want to have at least a campfire, which you build on the ground, or a forge, or ideally an oven, which is what I've got here. I hit F, I open it up, and here I've got some cooking utensils. I've got my iron knife that I use to chop up vegetables and stuff. I've got 4 frying pans, 4 pottery bowls. I'm still using the pottery bowls because they're more in line with what my cooking skill actually is. So, and whenever you eat something, you'll get a temporary affinity for something. What an affinity means is that as long as your affinity is active, you will gain skill faster in that particular thing. So here, this is for longbow. If I had a longbow and I decided to run out and for 10 seconds, real quick, shoot my longbow, and 10 seconds isn't enough time to do anything. So anyway, what you do is you'll put a meat and a vegetable, or 2 different vegetables, or a berry and a vegetable, or a fruit and different things. They want it to be trial and error. There are some resources online. There are no official resources that tell you specifically what recipes you can make, but there are some resources that you can find. And basically what you want to do when you first start is you get a pottery bowl, unless you died and you lost it. And what you do is you take a chunk of meat and you take some vegetables and you put them in there. You might want to fillet the meat first. That means activate. I made this iron knife, but you'll come into the world with a carving knife. Just use your carving knife. Double click it to activate it. Right click the meat and hit fillet. It'll fillet the meat. Then you take the meat fillet and some vegetables and you throw them in a pottery bowl. You light the fire and fuel the fire. Lighting the fire and fueling the fire is 2 different things. You use kindling to light the fire. Then you have to have some kind of bulk wood. About 20 kilograms of wood gives you the maximum fire time. So, and then once that's done, leave them in the oven. Don't take them out of the oven. If I took these pottery bowls out that have these breakfasts in them, they would decay pretty darn quick. Now these have been in the oven since this morning when I made them. If I come back tomorrow morning, and they'll be there and they won't have any decay on them. So that's basically how to gain and keep food security. Which is also why I have these animals and these cows specifically, because you raise cows and you can slaughter the cows. Oh, this is my sheep pen. You can slaughter the cows, or one of my sheep pens, and you'll get beef, and you'll get hide, and you'll get ingredients for healing covers. And so it's a pretty good deal. And of course, I have a bull and 2 cows in here. This one's finally starting to get old enough to where she can be bred. And of course, that's what I'm trying to do over there. I'm trying to establish breeding, not breeding pairs, but 1 male and 2 females. And over here, that's going to be a slaughtered calf as soon as it gets big enough where I can actually get a lot of meat and a hide out of it. And this is my sheep for shearing. And then my breeding sheep are over here. I've got a pregnant sheep that is going to deliver in a couple days. Then of course I have my orange trees and stuff. So You can just run around, forage, and botanize, and keep yourself alive that way. But sooner or later, you reach a point where your tools have deteriorated to the point that that they might even completely vanish. They might become so deteriorated, so decayed, that they completely vanish. And you're going to have to either buy some silver with real money and buy new tools from the people, other people online, or you're going to have to settle down somewhere and build you a forge and find a mine and go in there and start digging out the ore and making yourself some tools. So botanizing and foraging is not a long-term solution to food security. You have to get you a farm, you have to find a place that you can, a ready supply of meat, and then you can achieve food security. And that's your number one first meta goal that you need to meet. And of course, leading up to that, you need to make a cart, small cart like this one here. You can drag it; it'll hold some stuff, so that whenever you're out harvesting and you're collecting, gathering, whatever, you've got some place to put it rather than trying to carry everything yourself, which slows you down so that you can't run. And somebody who can't run is easy to get killed. But anyway, that's one of the meta goal is food security. You need a small cart, you need some tools, you need a home base of some kind. You don't have to have a deed, but if you've got a deed, stuff doesn't deteriorate, it doesn't decay. Like this wall here, it's on a deed. As you can see down here, its quality is 28, damage is 0. And it's been up for a pretty good while now. So, but anyway, food security, one of the first things that you want to make sure that you take care of in Wurm. And that's going to be it for today's video. My name is Leo. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.